Hello, my name is Micheline Coffee, and this is for the public speaking class. This is our final week, our last video to do, and it's a persuasive speech. I'm going to be doing mine on abortion and the effect of that, the ramifications of how that comes to be. I'm a pro-life versus the pro-choice. I am pro-life after having my daughter. I definitely see stuff in a different light. I don't have the same perspective of the pro-choice as I once did when I was in my early 20s. Having the baby definitely changed my point of view on many things. And for people who can't have children, I have a very good friend of mine who went through many abortions through her body not being able to hold a baby to adoption, which was a blessing for her. So just going to talk a little bit about what some people may seem that it's not important, maybe discuss why there is wrong in that, and I just want to clarify and talk about the top 5 discussions that come along with this is, one thing and this is the other, and arguments that come along with this topic. It's very heated amongst many people. So the first one is, it's not a human being, it's not a person. It's just tissue in the woman's body. It's not doing anything there. The fetus is just there. It's not anybody, doesn't have a life, doesn't do anything. It's not a baby at that point. It is meaningless. And life begins at the birth of the child and not the beginning of the heartbeat, which is between 18 to 21 days of fertilization. By the way, I did find all my information from the websites, the NRLC.org, National Rights to Life, the Wikipedia.org, that's with the pro-life abortion, pro-life movement, and I had the prolife.com, and I also use lifenews.org, which is a really great source to figure out the news and topics of ongoing items. That's my baby. Anyways, so that argument with the baby is not anything, it's nothing, it's just tissue in the woman's body. My argument against that is that when a woman is pregnant, science tells us that new life she's carrying is completely and fully a human being at the point of conception and fertilization. The baby living in her mother is a distinct and unique person, different from me or you. Is different from the mother. It is not the same person. It's completely its own person. And its undeniable right to life is something we all should be protecting, just as if it were a 5-year-old and we were saying, no, you cannot harm this child needs our protection, to say, no, you cannot harm this child and kill it, essentially. My second argument I get all the time is a woman has a right to control her own body. We cannot force a woman to carry, what she does not want. Every woman should have the right to control their own body, aka reproductive freedom. And to some extent I can understand that, but then I will say every woman's faced with their profound decisions to make for herself and her child. The decisions can never include the right to kill a baby, though. It's same as killing anybody else. Mothers have a right to be fully informed about what happens in at least 24 hours before making a life or death decision. So telling the mother exactly what would happen to this unborn child that's a living being in her body, to not sugarcoat it for her, so she knows that there is pain involved. It's not as simple as it'll just go away. There is pain. The baby does feel itself when it's being ripped apart by some of the tools that they use for abortions. It's nothing above just very inhumane. Another argument I get a lot is every child is a wanted child, and other items that come up with that. It's unfair to bring a child into an unwanted situation. It leads to child abuse, so neglect and everything. The poor need to limit how many children they're taking in to not be on welfare. very valid, a valid argument to some point. Overpopulation and quality of life play into that as well. My response to that would be, we will never know, we will never end poverty in the world simply because of killing poor children. That is just ludicrous to me. The baby is not a real problem. The circumstances are, not the child, the unborn child. Killing a child will never help address those issues. It often makes it worse for the mother because then she's going through depression and everything else that comes associated with that. A poor mother is still poor the day after the child is aborted. She doesn't become suddenly rich. Now she's a mother that just killed her baby basically and aborted it. Another argument that's always been out there is back alley abortions, basically where someone goes into an unsafe clinic and, you know, they could possibly die as a woman. You know, you're just getting it done to get it done. Abortion is safer than childbirth, to be honest. To be honest, was what they're saying for their argument. The numbers often used by the pro-abortionists to back their claim are vast. They're fabrications of lies. They're made up of pro-abortion lobbies admitted to Dr. Bernard Nathanson, founder of the NARAO. The widespread introduction of antibiotics to medicine, not legalization of abortion, saved the lives of women who have otherwise died due to botched abortions. Mothers deserved better answers than the death of their children through the violence of abortion, legal or illegal, completely at all. And my last argument would be, there's some hard cases. What if the baby has a deformity? What if they're a victim of rape or incest? Those are issues that, you know, come up a lot, and they're very rare and they're out there, and there's a lot of animosity towards that child when it's born because you're not sure, you know, if you could ever love them as your own. My response to that would be, we don't cure illness by killing a patient. You know, if you have a cancer patient and they have no hope of survival, you're not going to say, well, let's just, you know, kill him and get it over with, you know, end his life already. When a family learns there's a child that they're expecting, many have a special need, that have special needs. Families need to support and be solid and get the good, solid medical information, not the death of their most fragile member. When a woman has been a victim of rape or incest, she has been victim of the terrifying act of violence. We are somewhat faced with a second victim, which is the child involved. They didn't ask for that. They're the baby involved. That's not their purpose, is to know whether or not from wrong for right at that point. The cruelest thing that could happen is for the woman to question and have that animosity towards that child. The second victim would be the child. Support for both of them is something that needs to come for the family. And I can honestly say, if there's no hope for all these arguments involved, adoption's great. For people who cannot have children, for same-sex couples that want children and obviously cannot have them or are not looking like that, it's a great tool for people to use. I know there's a lot of controversy with that as far as like kids that are already in the system, whether or not they're going to get help or not. But my overall point to this whole thing is that you can have an argument from either side. Killing any child, whether fertilization stage to 5 years old, is never the answer. And I just hope that more and more people decide to take a different approach and not just think that, you know, people ever think about it lightly. It needs to be a thought out process, and you need to know how the facts go too, to understand where everything's coming from and where it all goes as well. So keeping those facts up to date is going to get you better as well. So for my picture or my whatever, this is my baby, Grayson. Say hi. And she is definitely something that I look forward to every day, and I think if a mother knew ahead of time what she was getting, she would definitely have a different outcome of that. So thank you, and see you next time, I guess. Bye.